to One on One, the Daily Items weekly digital program featuring Susquehanna Valley newsmakers interviewed by Daily Item reporters. Today's guest is Susquehanna-River-Valley-Visitors-Bureau Executive Director Andrew Miller, interviewed by the Daily Items' Rick Dandes.
The Sunbury Motor Company.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Amber Wren, Certified Hyundai and Lincoln Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove High School.
Ian Chakosky, Certified Ford Sales Professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Christopher Stengline, Ford Certified Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove High School.
Tom Mertz, fourth generation owner, Sunbury Motor Company, Shikellamy High School.
A tradition of trust since 1915.
Welcome to One on One. My name is Rick Dandes, and today we're speaking with Andrew Miller, who's the Executive Director of the Susquehanna-River-Valley-Visitors-Bureau. I got it right.
You did. You got it right. Good.
There's probably no better time to talk about the things that you do going into the summer. I mean, this is an enormous visitors destination. But I think a lot of people probably don't realize how much of an economic driver it is also for the businesses that live here, the people that live here. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, I think a lot of people don't necessarily think of themselves as a tourism destination unless you're really well known, like a Hershey Park or a Great Adventure, or a Walt Disneyland. However, we do get an awful lot of people that come here and spend money. The 2017 Economic Impact Report that the State Office of Tourism conducts every year. The most recent one is 2017. They break it down by county, and we represent Snyder, Northumberland, and Union County. And the amount of visitor spending in 2017 in those three counties was $400 million. And that usually is a jaw dropper for people because they don't think of themselves as a tourism destination. And it can be a tough sell sometimes because you're talking about an experience. You're not talking about a widget. But if you think of it, $400 million in an economy, if you were to take that away, that would have a negative impact. The same way that if there was a business in the Tri-County area that had $400 million in sales and employed all these people, you'd be like, wow, that's a great business to have. I hope we don't lose it. Yeah. So I look at the tourism industry as the same.
And how is that distributed? Did the report go into some kind of details about?
Yeah, visitor spending in 2017. Let's hope that my memory serves me well.
I'm sure it's fine.
I hope. In Northumberland County, visitor spending was $138 million, Snyder $112 million, and then $150 million in Union County. So those are nice chunks of change, in each county. And what we've seen over the last 10 years is that visitor spending has increased by about $95 million. Mm-hmm. And it goes up every year. So if we're consistent, that money will continue to grow and go up. And if you look at things that we have, some make sense, like Knoebels, they get about 1.8 million people in. One of the biggest things we saw in Northumberland County was AOAA, the Anthracite Outdoor Adventure area coming in, bringing in about 20,000 people a year and growing and having national events. And now that area will expand.
As that develops.
It's just going to get bigger. I mean, once they, get into more mountain biking and additional outdoor recreation sports there, that's just going to continue to grow. So I'm really excited about the numbers.
Is this mostly an outdoor destination? People come here to just enjoy the outdoors, enjoy the environment?
It's turning into one, and that's definitely what we're going to be building upon. What ended up happening is with Agnes and the flood of 72, everyone was afraid of the river. And since I moved back in the area in 2000, what I've seen is a lot more people are embracing it for fishing and for kayaking and canoeing and boating. That's picked up. Mm-hmm. And then in addition to that, what you're seeing is an awful lot of cycling events and a lot more people taking advantage of the beautiful amenities we have. I mean, we have so many state parks nearby, and they're becoming increasingly popular. And so I see outdoor recreation is really putting us on the map. And then when you look at the report from 2017, we are actually tied for fourth in the Commonwealth for being a tourism region offering recreation. So we're moving up and hopefully over expanding.
Have you found that people in municipalities are now starting to work with your organization in building destinations, rail trails, hiking trails?
We're getting invited to the table to have the conversation, which is good. So, when you're looking at transportation studies, how is that going to impact visitors and how is that going to impact the tourism amenities? When you're looking at rail trails, what is the draw for that? When you're looking at canoeing and kayaking, we love to have conversation with outfitters and outdoor rec-based people because it's growing. We're having ongoing conversations with Union County. They just formed the Union County Trail Authority, the same way that we're working with CEDACOG to have conversations about outdoor recreation, the Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area. So it's growing. So it's nice to be invited, to the table to have the conversation because of that visitor spending impact.
Is part of what you do with working with the universities, because I know Bucknell has several events during the summer that just draws people in. They have
it's interesting.
But then they have to stay at hotels, which is
right, exactly, which is good. So it's interesting because what you see is the universities during summer, when they don't have students, are having more events, to take advantage of the venue and what they have to offer over there. Let alone they have more parking available to the public because the students aren't taking it up. In addition to that, what you see are alumni and students and family that I call annual tourists that come in because their kids are at the university or because they're there for reunions. So that definitely has an impact on people coming in, let alone the fact that both Bucknell and Susquehanna offer, artistic and exhibits and theatrical and cultural performances. So that always enhances everything.
Yeah, I know they have teaching clinics also, like during the summer.
Oh my gosh, the sports clinics throughout the summer just are increasing again and again and over. So the summers are filling up also, not only for people coming on family vacations, but they're coming and they're dropping the kids off, or the parents are staying and spending some time and money while the kids are going to a lot of sport camps.
Do you have any initiatives that you can talk about that you're working on for the coming year? And we'll talk about some of the events.
Oh, okay.
Shortly.
Well, one of the things we need to do as a tourism marketing agency is to stay on top of trends. Right. So the trends that we're seeing are really a lot of farm to table. So we're looking to really get into that. Yeah. We're going to produce our first restaurant week in 2020. So we're all excited about that. So throughout the whole Tri-County region, all of the restaurants would be celebrating what they do in their relationship with farmers and hopefully have some really unique cultural foods that they can offer. In addition to that, once again, the trends are wineries and breweries. We worked with the Columbia Montreux Visitors-Bureau to form the River Rapparee Trail, and we're doing our second passport promotion. And this year the theme is Farm to Mug.
What's that about? Passport promotion?
You buy a passport for $35, and you have June, July, August, and September to complete it. And we have 1 month extra this year than last September because it's Pennsylvania Craft Beer Month. So we decided to be open to celebrate that. So you visit all 9 participating breweries within that time period. You get a decal, you get a free leather coaster when you go, and then you turn your completed passport in, and then you get your choice of a brewer's shirt or a hoodie with the River Rapparee Trail on it. We did it last year, and it was really popular, and this year sales are far ahead of what they were last year. We have an additional month, and it's just, once again, a way to get people to come and explore the breweries, and then also what we have to offer that's uniquely made in the Susquehanna River Valley. And we're doing a farm to mug theme, so once again, how the breweries are working with their local farmers to come up with concoctions that are unique and new. And it's going really well. We're really excited about it.
Well, all this talk about wine and breweries is making me very thirsty.
I should have brought some.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with Andrew Miller.
Great, thanks.
The Sunbury Motor Company.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Amber Wren, certified Hyundai and Lincoln sales consultant, Salinas River High School.
Ian Chakosky, certified Ford sales professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Christopher Stengline, Ford certified sales consultant, Salinas Grove Area High School.
Tom Mertz, fourth generation owner, Sunbury Motor Company, Shikellamy High School.
A tradition of trust since 1915.
We're back and we're talking with Andrew Miller of the Susquehanna-River-Valley-Visitors-Bureau. And now I think maybe is a good time to talk about, it's the summer. Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. It's July 4th.
Believe it or not.
We're taping this on July 4th. But there's so much going on in this area in the summer. And who better, to talk about those things than you. So what are some major things that, not only visitors, but people who live here can go to?
Well, one of the things that I like that we do as a Visitors Bureau is we like to encourage all the residents in the Tri-County area to be backyard tourists so that they can explore and discover and rediscover what's in their own backyard. Mm-hmm. The state says that 44% of the people that are coming to Pennsylvania are visiting friends and family. So what we want to do is be a resource when people, that live here are having family and friends come to know what's going on in the area. Yeah. a lot of times people think there's not a lot of going on in rural central Pennsylvania, and I tend to think that I try to dismiss that that myth that there's a lot going on. In fact, one of the things that I always look at is our online calendar of events, and sometimes we have as many as 250 things going on a month. So if you're bored, give me a call. I'm happy to tell you what's going on. So festivals, events are huge in the area. Summer concert series and movies are huge in the area too. There's more and more people getting out and showcasing all of that. In addition to that, there's summer camps for kids. There's a plethora of stuff that's going on in the area, even more so than I can probably give time to. What I would recommend for your viewers is to go to our website, which is visitcentralpa.org. And then go to the calendar of events, and you can search by kid fun, festivals, fairs, history, food, wine, all kinds of events, because there's just a ton going on. If you're bored, then I think it's your own fault, because there's just too much. You can't do it all. Let alone in July. I looked at our festivals in July, and there's 9 festivals in July, and there's 9 festivals in August going on. And we only have 4 weekends, so there's a lot to do. There's Sunbury Celebration, the Sunbury River Festival, Pine Knotters Day.
Which is happening as we speak.
Yeah, as we speak, yes. Other July events include Antiques on the Avenue. Lewisburg is having a sidewalk chalk festival. Gilson, the snow and ski manufacturers, they have a big snow day on July 27th where they actually will bring snow in so they can snowboard, and then they have what's more like a big block party for their friends and the family and community.
Now, I didn't know about that one.
It's great. The first one they had was 98 degrees, and they had snow and people snowboarding.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go to that.
I know. It's free and open to the public. They have a bunch of food vendors. They have wine. They have beer. It's great for family fun. It's a great surprise. It's relatively a new event, but they expect about 2,000 to 3,000 people this year, and that's in July. Mount Carmel's having a Christmas in July. Arts Farm Market is having a sunflower festival for the first time, so you can go and enjoy the thousands of sunflowers there, and that's just in July. Let alone the Hops, Vines, and Wine Festival in Selinsgrove. Then you get into August, and you have the Sunbury River Festival, Northumberland County Fair.
Yeah, the county fair is all
county fair. Right. Then you have Pioneer Day at the Pioneer Tunnel Coal Mine. And then you also have Hillbilly Fever Day in Beavertown, which is, taking advantage of rural Pennsylvania, really celebrating it. It turns out that it's a really popular event that's just growing. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of festivals going on. Some for one day, some for several days, but they're a lot of fun. It's true Americana at its best, and it's celebrating local pride and local culture and a little bit of local history and a lot of local fun.
Yeah, it is. You mentioned a lot of things. Anything else you want to go into?
Oh my gosh.
We have a little more time.
A little bit more time. The one thing that is a huge trend this year is local fun. People and travelers and tourists, they don't want to go to franchises. They want to know, what's the place for the best burger, or what fun is happening tonight. So the more local fun that there is and the more local experiences, the more that tourists and visitors can have an experience that they're not going to get anywhere else. So it's kind of made to order. And since we have that in the River Valley and the Tri-County area, in spades, especially over the summer, we're just a fun place to go and to be. And once again, ideally people will go to the online calendar events and look, because we've got a list that just goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, I find it interesting that these days how destinations talk now about the experience. It's not just going somewhere, but it's going somewhere, feeling good about it, having a good experience while you're there, going to a farm, going to an event. Yeah.
Like one of the things we're getting into is cycling tourism, and when I did my research...
Yeah, bicycling is getting really big.
Right. Yeah. And they like to stay longer, which means they're going to spend more money because it's a slower pace. Right. And where they like to go are the smaller towns where they can interact with communities, where they feel welcome and they can visit unique retail and shopping and dining and restaurants and all of that, and farmers markets, and we have all of that. So it's pretty much once again made to order. So we're looking for that whole cycling tourism to pick up. And I think we're going to see that in the summer, and we're going to continue to see that in the fall. Ideally, what I'm hoping is that in the next couple of years, everyone's going to be amazed at the amount of bike racks on top of cars, and celebrate and welcome the cycling tourists, because they're going to be adding money to that visitor spending.
You mentioned farmers markets. I know that when I visited here, when I didn't live here, one of the things we made sure we went to was farmers markets on Wednesday. They're on weekends on Wednesdays. Lewisburg has a big one. Some of the other ones that you know of?
Oh, they're huge. Well, in addition to
Almost every town these
almost
days.
every town has them nowadays, and then you see an awful lot of pick your own at blueberry fields and strawberry fields and markets and orchards, and there's so many of them that we actually once again combined with the Columbia Monterey Visitors Bureau and created a guide called Homegrown in the Valleys, which is all about going to the orchards and going and getting some cider and both throughout the whole entire year, but also especially the summer in season, where you can pick your own strawberries and blueberries, and it's one of our most popular guides that people come and pick up because farm to table and getting something local that's homegrown is a really good experience and healthy.
Okay. Well, that's just some of the many things that are going on.
That's the tip.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Join us again next week for another edition of One-on-One.
Thanks for watching One on One. Be sure to tune in next week for another edition.